Hello and welcome to this semi-final match between Hamilton Olympic and the home side Lambton Jaffas. I'm here with Smudge, Chris Turner here. And Smudge, we're in for an interesting afternoon with this semi-final.
Yeah, it's good to see the crowd building, CT. It is just a bit of a dribble of rain at the moment. It's been on and off all day. Compared to last night at Magic Park versus Edgeworth, it was gusty and blowing a gale and about 6 degrees. It was freezing cold. Hence my lip gloss on this morning with cracked lips, CT. But yeah, I'm looking forward to I think it's going to be a bit of a physical game today. Probably the light bit of rain sort of softened the pitch a little bit, so I'm expecting a good game, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. The rain's just started to come down now, and we were looking earlier like we're surrounded. Now it's just moving in, which will make the game very interesting. Look, Smudge, this is going to be these two teams. They've both got players back in. They're in good shape. How do you see this one unfolding?
Yeah, for Hamilton Olympic, they bring back Andrew Swan comes back into the side. Also, Tom Davies from last week. So yeah, so you know what? They're probably virtually at full strength. Bar Spence being out, he's out for the season. So same with Lambton. Lambton bring back Joe Willhouse, which is a massive addition as we know. And same with Nathan Morris. So you know what? It's going to be a tight battle. Both sides have scored in every single game this year, so we're expecting goals today. But yeah, it's all about defence today. It's all about making sure you're tight, no mistake football.
Yeah, and on that we'll go through the teams for the away side. In goals, Tyler Warren, number 21. Number 3, Tom Davies. Number 2, Kyle Hodges. Number 5, Marcus Duncan. On the right side, we've got Daniel Bird in number 18. Number 7, Matt Swan. Number 9, Andrew Swan. 12, Grant Brown. 35, Reese Pappas. Number 4 up front, Kane Goodchild with number 10, Reese Pappas. And on the reserves bench, we've got Sean Pratt. Number 16, number 13, Scott Smith. Number 17, Luke Rutledge. Number 15, Cody Lucas. Number 31, Daniel Eisenhower, being coached by Michael Balch.
Yeah, and for the home team, Lampton Jaffas, who came third this year. We've got number 1 in goals, Brad Swancott. We've got number 19, Michael Sessions. Number 3, Nathan Morris. Number 2, Liam Odell. Number 4, Nathan Verity. Number 10, Michael Kantorowski. Number 15, Riley McNaughton. Number 8, Ben Hay. Number 6, Joe Willhouse. Number 23, Ryan Griffith. Number 9, Joel Griffith. On the bench, number 5, Ridge Marpu. Number 17, Pat Brown. Number 18, Reese Tippett. Number 12, Dane Greentree. And their reserve goalkeeper is number 20, Daniel March, with their coach, James Pascoe.
That's much. We're without Ben Homer. Bart this afternoon, he's over at Edgeworth doing the NPL Women's Grand Final.
Yes, he's over there doing that, so he was looking forward to that. I was talking to him about that last night, Magic versus Edgeworth game. So obviously we'll miss him here today doing the call-by-call, but we'll try our best, CT. So
that's what we can do.
So just wish us all the best. So it should be fun.
All right, we're just about to get underway here, and the conditions aren't great. They're not perfect for football. It's currently raining if you can't see it on your screen, and it seems like a south-southeast wind blowing, which is going to assist the Lambton Jaffas in the first half. Smudge, these two sides, I mean, we've seen James Pascoe make some interesting comments in the paper just recently, and he's obviously expecting Lambton to have a big day today.
Oh, 100%. I think obviously having Joe Willhouse back and Nathan Morris back, when they were last in the side, they were at the top of the table, and that was after the first round of football. So obviously they're going to, he's going to have some confidence having those sort of players back in the side. They're near full strength. The only player out is Luke Remington with a cork thigh. So yeah, he was in doubt and he's out today. So, but same with Olympic, they're virtually full strength as well. So it should be interesting. One interesting stat, CT, is both of these sides have scored in every game this year. So, however, if you look at Lampton, they've been a bit inconsistent with their defence. They've only had something like 3 clean sheets, where Olympics had about 7 clean sheets. So I think defence is the key today, CT.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll tell you, someone who's been defending well has been Tyler Warren, Kyle Hodges. Tyler in goals. I mean, talk about injuries for Lambton. They've been without Daniel Ireland, and he's been a massive loss. But hasn't Tyler stood up to the mark? Oh,
100%. But also they've lost obviously Peter McPherson, and also Bertos at the start, Leo Bertos at the start of the year. So
yeah, it's interesting. Michael Balch hasn't actually mentioned anything about those losses. I mean, I guess he's relying on the depths of his squad, and you know, you could probably say they would win the comp coming in second if they had a full strength side as well.
Yeah, true. But, you know, I like the balance of this side at the moment. It's very good, playing their 5 at the back. So they played 5 at the back probably for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and defensively they've been rock solid. The first time they did it this year was against Edgeworth, and they had a 1-0, solid 1-0 win at home to Edgeworth. So I think, so I think the key today is all about mistake-free football. And, and a lack of communication between Marcus Duncan and Tyler Warren. Nearly an own goal for Marcus Duncan.
Just talking about mistake-free football.
I know,
Nearly had it right there.
Yeah. It's the commentator's curse, isn't it, CT? Once you start talking about something, then something happens. Or if you start giving credit to somebody, and then, they make a mistake.
Now, these two sides head-to-head overall, they've played 14 times. Olympic have won twice. They've drawn 7, and Lampton have won 5. So we see that ball delivered in. Wheelhouse gets a touch on it.
Ben Hay. Sessions. Ball defended by Olympic. Good pressure on the ball, wasn't it, from Olympic?
Yeah, good to see them. They really press themselves out well. And you know what? Here's Griffiths on the ball, delivers in, and Hodges is there to clean that one up.
Bit of a nervous start for Hamilton at the moment. That's twice they've sort of gone in behind Lambton from mistakes from Olympic. So that was well defended by Liam O'Day.
It's where you want the experience of people like Hodges at the back when you do get off to a bit of a scratchy start or a little bit shaky, just to settle things down as he did there. He put his foot on the ball and just calmly rolled it off.
Talking about the weather, CT, I'll tell you what, if the wind dies down, it's a perfect day for football. Light breeze. Good shot by Hay. Well kept out by Tyler Warren. Yeah, they're just looking a bit nervy at the moment. Hamilton Olympic, just at the back. They just need to settle down, get into their routine, get into their patterns of play. Verity on the ball. It's down the left-hand side. Into Ryan Griffiths. Ben Hay, Ben Hay touched a bit too long, out for a goal kick for Olympic. So, CT, it's good to have Joe Wheelhouse back on the park.
Well, you know what I've thought about him.
I know, mate.
When he left his side, and that's something you would say about for Lambton Jaffas and the comments that Pascoe had made, they really did miss him.
Yeah, just on that. Though, Reece Cooper with the ball, advances forward to Goodchild. Great Goodchild back to Cooper. One-on-one great challenge by Nathan Morris. Great challenge and away to Verity. And Reece Pappas, great challenge on Nathan Verity. So we'll go back to Job in a second. Verity with the throw-in.
He's just being told by Morris to slow down. They just need to get set up, and I think he's exactly right. It's thrown into Griffiths, but it's just been into 7 Swan. He's been just knocked over pretty heavily, Smudge.
So 7 Swan is actually Matt Swan, if for the viewers at home.
But 7 and 9
so
Swan.
Marcus Duncan on the ball. It's a cut out by Verity. And it's a throw-in for Olympic. Daniel Bird.
Daniel Bird's another player this year that has had a good year. Like he's been very dangerous. He's just been attacking nature is great. Wonderful touch by 7 Swan.
And just one on the ball. Out to Marcus Duncan. It's better by Olympic. They're sort of starting to get into a bit more of a rhythm. They're a bit nervous at the start, weren't they, CT?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things. It's a semi-final, and both teams are pressing pretty hard, and the game started at a cracking pace, and that's what we're looking at right now. Just
on Lampton, they're very deep in defence here. Marcus Duncan, back to Kyle Hodges. He's got time and space, Kyle Hodges. They need a bit of width here, I think. Olympic, they're a bit just narrow. Daniel Bird needs to get out nice and wide quicker. Out to Tommy Davies. He advances forward with the ball. Cut out by Michael Kandarowski. And Ryan Griffiths on the break. Good transition by Lampton. Great ball in by Ryan Griffiths. And great save by Taylor Warren.
That was a loose strike there in the end.
Yeah, by Riley McNaughton.
Crowd starting to build up, Smudge. We've got a good crowd in here this afternoon. Most people are tucked under the long extended grandstand down here, the Jaffas, and it's full. And then through under the canteen area, and there's a couple of marquees and people out and about. So, yeah, you're right. If the rain holds off, we're in for a really good afternoon of football here.
Yeah. Even the light dribble's beautiful to play. And as long as if the wind dies down, you get the ball on the deck and you can play. And with the light dribble, the ball skids off, so the play gets quicker. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Ryan Griffith. Great run. And it's a goal kick to Hamilton Olympic. Great run on the right-hand side by Riley McNaughton. So Hamilton with the goal kick. We'll go back to Job in a second, CT. I tell you what, only 6 minutes been played or 7 minutes been played, and it's been full of action already, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the players, you know, I think probably just want to try and settle things down a little bit. Certainly in some greasy conditions, you don't want to dwell on the ball too much in your own back line, but if they can get out with a bit of purpose, then you know that's what they'll be looking to do. And Hodges sends it back to Warren, who this time will knock it long, which he does.
Yeah, I'd like to see Daniel Bird a little bit wider there. Tyler Warren be able to hit him from that angle. That's a foul from Nathan Verity on Daniel Bird. Daniel Bird sporting a crew cut today, CT.
Yes.
Andrew Swan on the ball. Out to Grant Brown. Just holds it up. Well defended by Lampton, forcing Olympic to go back. Marcus Duncan on the ball, clips it in. A bit too far for Andrew Swan. So Matt Swan. And that's a foul by Reece Cooper on, I think it was Michael Kanarowski. Quick restart to Riley McNaughton. And well cut out by Marcus Duncan. The other thing at the moment, there's a few turnovers in there. I know it's nice and early in the game, but I think both sides just want to get the foot on the ball, knock it around a bit. Good pressure by Lampton. And tackle by Nathan Verity on Daniel Bird. Olympics throw-in. There's Jimmy Pascoe, Lampton's coach, on the screen right now. Ooh. Well played by Tommy Davies. Out to Marcus Duncan. He's advancing forward. Deflection out to Reece Cooper. Back to Marcus Duncan. Into Reece Pappas. The step. They're quite deep, aren't they, Lampton? Nice shot.
They are deep. They've just shuttled back a little bit just because they know of the impending
Good
threat.
child.
He hasn't troubled Swancott from there, and he's just letting them know that he's about early.
I think if he had his time again, I think Grant Brown was on his left-hand side. A little play in just to his left-hand side, and Grant Brown would have been on goal.
Really like the look of Grant Brown this year. He's just one of those players you know is just going to go forward before he goes back, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's consistent, isn't he?
Yes.
Plays the same every week.
Yeah, and just dangerous every week.
And he scores goals. He scored a few goals this year. And in crucial times. I know the one against Valentine he scored in the last few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just got that danger about him. And you look at their strike force in Goodchild, Cooper and Pappas.
Good ball into Goodchild. Yeah, well defended by Joe Wheelhouse.
That's his strength right there. And then, a delivery and finds his mark in Griffiths.
Yeah, he's only had 30 minutes of football, Joe Wheelhouse. And, Goodchild. Nathan Verity. Bit of a stray pass. Goodchild putting Nathan Morris under pressure. Reece Cooper. And Nathan Verity well away.
Yeah, and he made up for that from that previous error, didn't he? He's been playing some good football, and particularly in the second half of the season. Every time I've seen Verity play, he's had a solid game. So he's become a really good, solid foundation member of this back line for Lampton.
And just looking at other results during the day in the under-18s, the Newcastle Jets beat Charlestown City Blues 3-2, and it was 0-0 between the Newcastle Jets and Maitland in the under-20s.
We've got to mention too that this format, this is a home and away format, and goals for the away team are actually worth 2 today, Smudge.
Yes, exactly. Well, actually worth 1.
However, let's clear this up.
Yeah.
Clear this up for the punters. However, if it does come down to it, it's worth an away goal, which represents 2.
Exactly. So looking at Edgeworth last night, betting Magic at Magic, they go with an away goal. So Magic need to score at least
twice.
Yeah.
So a draw will do for Edgeworth next week.
Yeah, that's right. Where Magic will need to score at least 2 goals next week. So if Magic win 2-1, they get through.
That's right.
If it's 1-1,
and you
it
know
goes
what?
to extra time.
It's a little bit dangerous, that scoreline for Edgeworth
Oh,
as well,
I agree.
because you just can't sit back and think a draw's going to do it. You've got to go out and win.
Oh, I totally agree. So the pressure sort of goes back to Edgeworth, doesn't it?
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw McBreen making a statement. The job's only half done, and I couldn't agree more, because they have got to go out and reproduce the same, if not better, again next week.
Exactly. And you know what? Edgeworth never sung the song after they won either.
No. What's your thoughts on that one?
I don't mind that because they're serious. You know, that's in essence it's half time, but also it's a game they won. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm the same, actually. You know, if it's my side, I probably don't want to sing until we've actually won it. I mean, I kind of view it, if it's a home and away leg, we're only halfway there, and so, I'd be inclined.
Yeah, agree. So Marcus Duncan forward to Reece Cooper. Well cut out by Liam O'Dell. Andrew Swan. Oh! Very close. Wasn't that CT? Foul on Andrew Swan. Looked like he just creeped in, but it looks like he was tugging him from a little bit before. Here we go. Liam O'Day, he's tugging him.
Gee, it was right on the edge of the box as well.
I think he got him for the foul just initially. It looked like Liam O'Day sort of crossed Andrew Swan's line.
Well, here we go. It looks like Pappas is on the ball. Delivery, he's in a very, very good position for Olympic. Swancott's just getting a bit of extra attention.
Oh! What happened there, CT?
Well, it didn't look like he slipped again. He's just slipped 3 times in about 3 seconds. Now Lampton are on the attack.
Rolly McNaughton.
The cross didn't come out the way he wanted it to, but I tell you what, it caught everyone by surprise.
Yeah, Joel Griffith. Back to Liam O'Dell, sorry. Out to Sessions. He's been good this year, hasn't he, Sessions for Lampton?
Yeah, he's been great for a number of years now. He's a good, strong, solid footballer, and he's very imposing in his nature. And if you're up against him, you know you're going to get knocked around during the game.
You know you're in the game. Yeah, his pass just went a bit too long for Nathan Verity, trying to slide Nathan Verity through the gap in between their back 5.
This battle between Session and Goodchild is going to be a beauty, because neither of those two guys give an inch away.
Throw to Lampton. Verity on the ball. Kyle Hodges cleared away. Lampton's throw. Been a bit scrappy, hasn't it, initially? Neither side's able to get into a rhythm of play, have they? Just get the ball on the deck.
Yeah, we haven't seen good periods of possession by either side yet. It's usually been a couple of passes and then either a turnover or knocked it pretty long. So
Wheelhouse to Verity.
I think that's key at the moment.
Back to Sessions. Swancott is going around again next year for more reports.
Yeah, that'll make him, 46, 47, Smudge?
I don't comment on ages anymore. After. So, but he's been dynamite again this year. However, they have leaked goals virtually. They've only had 3 clean sheets. Great ball into Ben Hay. Great challenge by Daniel Bird. Back to Bird. Joel Griffith. And Verity over the top on Tom Davies. Fouled Olympic. Starting to get a bit heated, isn't it? This is definitely semi-final football.
Well, this is what happens, isn't it? Griffiths has got the... he's not happy. And at the end of the day, we're just going to see, got a little bit scrappy there.
Yeah, he was going for the ball, wasn't he, Nathan Verity? His foot was a little bit raised, but...
Yeah, and just a fraction late.
Yep. Okay, out to Bird. Forward. Yeah, good challenge by Morris. Pascoe saying in the paper he's glad to have Morris and Wheelhouse back. Pivotal figures for their two sides.
Yeah, aren't they what? And they're the guys that really solidify your team. People talk about a spine of the side. Look at those two right there.
Well defended by Tom Davies on Joel Griffith. Just got his body in front. Out to Hodges. He's got time on the ball. Lampton just sitting back a little bit at the moment. Back to Hodges. Good pressure by Ryan Griffiths. The Hodges, great 10. Calm under pressure, hey CT.
He's been quality all season, to be honest, and he's been one of the defenders of Northern football. There's no doubt about that. Look, we've just had talking about statistics before, but we've got semi-finals played head-to-head at this ground. They've played 4 times. Olympic have won once. They've drawn 3 times, and the Jaffas haven't won at home.
Really? That's interesting.
In the semi-finals.
Do you know these two sides have played each other in the last... Lampton didn't make the semis last year, but the previous 3 or 4 seasons they've played Olympic in the semis.
And wouldn't Bolch love to have Bertos and Ireland available as well?
Foul and Andrew Swan.
You know, we talk about Wheelhouse and Morris. Wouldn't he love to have a couple of those extras as well?
But even so, if you look at his bench, he's got Scott Smith on there. Sean Pratt's back from injury.
Yep.
Luke Rutledge has been great from. Cody Lucas is on the bench, so he's got a solid bench, hasn't he?
Yeah, I guess that's why he's probably kept fairly quiet, because he's got depth, and he plans it that way.
Just see Daniel Bird's tucked in here. I'd like to see Daniel Bird right here on the touchline really spread the back 5, or especially the middle back 3 of Lampton.
He's half been forced out that way.
Well, great challenge by Tommy Davies. He's a good one-on-one defender, isn't he, CT? Hodges.
Verity looked to be away there, and Hodges was a little bit too far back, as we see.
Bit of pressure. Need to be a little bit careful, Hamilton. Oh, nice header. Bird on the ball. Verity come to close.
Cooper.
Ooh. And Sessions doing a... Forgot what way he was going.
That just clipped him right in his stride, didn't it?
Yeah, I think
Here we go. Have another look at this.
Just wrong-footed him, didn't it? So
it just got him right in the perfect...
Lucky Swancott was the
spot.
Alert.
Something you don't see every day.
So Harry Snitzel's finally delivered his vouchers for us, CT. We couldn't give any away last night because he forgot to deliver the vouchers, so we had no player of the day at Magic versus Edgeworth last night. However, we are going to give the player of the day to Nate Cavalier for a brilliant save, and I told him here today that once we get the vouchers, we're going to give him player of the day voucher, and that was voted by myself and Bart after the game. Ben Hay with the ball on the left-hand side, closed down by Matt Swan, and took an awful bounce as he went to cross it. So
it's just got him on the outside of the boot. So that one goes nowhere, and Tyler Warren comes back for a kickoff. Oh, it looks like we've got an early special guest, Smudge.
So Tyler Warren with the goal kick.
See Goodchild, he's already positioned himself, and again...
Good pressure by Kandarowski, but wasn't it?
Absolutely. He's very, very strong with his back to goal. Goodchild, probably one of the better ones going around, and Majerovski was another one of those. Now, Smudge, we've got Nate Cavalieri here.
Nate Cavalieri, Edgeworth's goalkeeper, had a tremendous game last night. Nate, what were your thoughts on the game last night?
Yeah, it was a good result for us last night. Get the 1-0, get the away goal, so really happy with that. Yeah.
Mate, you go to next week at home. What are your thoughts? It's going to be a tough game again?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a tough game. It always is against Broadmeadow, so hopefully we can do the same. Be pretty solid at the back there and keep going from there. So.
Mate, your form's been unbelievable this year, and the game down at South Melbourne was absolutely superb, I thought. So congratulations on a fantastic year. However, another big congratulations. We didn't have the Harry Snitzel's Player of the Day last night, mainly because we had no vouchers, because Harry's a bit slack to get them to us. However, he's just delivered them just now. So we're giving Harry's Player of the Day, Harry Snitty Player of the Day to you for your brilliant save in the first half on a James Virgili strike. So congratulations on last night's Player of the Day, mate.
Cheers, thanks very much. Thanks, Haz. Appreciate it, mate.
And before you go, Nate, sorry, for the boys, Smudge and Bart mispronouncing your name pretty much all year, weren't they?
Oh!
Yes, they were, but I don't mind. That's all right. So
I did try and correct them early in the season, but they kind of either didn't believe me or forgot. So, no, all good, mate, and good luck for the rest of the semis and the grand final if you're there.
And Ben's a professional, so he was horrified that he was spelling your name wrong or saying your name wrong, so he was devastated. So, mate, congratulations. We'll see you next week. Thanks, mate. Good chance by Lampton then. I think it was Ben Hay on the header.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Kandarowski going over to take the corner.
No, short for Kandarowski.
Short for Kandarowski.
Joel
okay.
Griffiths. Good ball in from Joel Griffiths. Oh, good pressure by... Yeah, to Joe Wheelhouse. And it's a foul. He's offside. Joe Wheelhouse offside.
Right,
We do apologise. It's really hard to see that far side for us, isn't it, CT? We have to call off the screen, so just the position we're in at the moment. So Tyler Warren with the free kick.
Goal kick, sorry. Yep. Yeah, he's decided to go long just to ease the pressure, and it goes straight up for Kandarowski, who puts it in the bound of Hodges. Back to Hodges again. And we see Pappas just overhit that one, goes out for a throw-in.
Verity with the throw-in. Yeah, well done by Matt Swan. Very stop-start game, isn't it? No, neither team can get into a pattern, can they?
Well, we were saying this before, it's been 2 or 3 passes and something long, or 2 and 3 passes, a turnover, and that's been it. And what needs to happen here is that these teams need to just get some possession. They need to, as you said, Smudge, before, I think they need to widen it up. If we have a look across the park right now, look, Bird is sitting just outside the centre circle. Verity is really pushing over and keeping everything inside 1/4 of the pitch. So when you've got 20 guys in that space, it tightens right up, so it's harder to play.
And the thing with Bird, he can go wide. He can afford to go wide because he's got cover at the back.
Yeah, he sure does. So he's got Spence in there behind him, so there's no reason why he can't come out here. But maybe that's something that they've decided to do. Maybe it's something he's sitting inside, and then when it is time to break, he'll pull it out. But what you touched on before, Smudge, if he comes out here now, it's got to stretch Verity, and
exactly.
it's got to open up a little bit more room in the middle of the back line there, and put a little bit more pressure on Morris and Sessions.
So Marcus Duncan on the ball. Looks like he's bound to deliver it into the 18-yard box for Olympic. Just put Swancon under a bit of pressure. Free header for Hay. Ball clearance. Out to Tommy Davies. Back to Cooper. Lampton appealing for a free kick. Back to Tyler Warren. To Marcus Duncan. I think the speed of the pass needs to be a bit quicker for Olympic. It's sort of just dawdling out there, isn't it? It needs to be a little bit quicker. And again, another turnover. I think both coaches wouldn't be too happy with the amount of turnover at the moment.
Look, it is a fraction slippery out there. Like to look at it, it looks like it's a little bit slippery, but I think that, this is times like now, Lambton can just open themselves up a little bit and really stretch things out. And again, Verity, he could be putting some chalk on his boots out here.
I totally agree with you, CT. I think now Verity should spread nice and wide. So it's just so compact, isn't it? There's nowhere to go.
And that's not necessarily to hit him. That's just so that we're going to open the game up,
yeah.
and make the holes bigger than what they are at the moment, because both teams are working in very, very tight areas.
Agree. Grant Brown on the ball with the throw-in. Cooper back to Brown. Oh, a bit of a miscue. Kandarowski. Into Joe Wheelhouse. Well, cleared by one of the Swan boys.
Smudge, I'm just having a look at these vouchers from Harry Snitties. Has he given us next season's bundle as well?
I don't know.
There's about 20 of them in here. Might have to call in there on the way home. Smudge.
Well, he said they're not for us, but he gave them. So.
Yeah, I know, but,
Yeah, no,
thanks, Haz.
He doesn't know. So the ball's gone out to Riley Norton on the right-hand side. It's a foul by Andrew Swan. So now, like we were talking about Verity, wouldn't you like to see him really high and wide here? Even Sessions could come out a little bit further as well.
Yeah.
And Sessions can come a little bit deeper, and Verity can come nice and wide. You can pick up the ball, and it's going to spread the game. Or give the midfielders space in the midfield to play your little triangles.
And what's actually happened is the central two for Lampton have pushed forward, so it's squeezed everything up.
Cooper. Even Bird. Forward to Swan. Lots of foul. Foul on Matt Swan. Swan boys were good a few weeks ago, weren't they, against Edgeworth?
Yeah, absolutely. 7 Swan and 9 Swan.
Great ball by Cooper. Out to Marcus Duncan. Sorry, Grant Brown. Always get them two mixed up. Back to Marcus Duncan. So again, turnover. They need to be a bit more clinical with their passes. Great touch by Giles Griffith to Ben Hay, and well defended by Daniel Bird. Cooper on the ball. Pappas with space. Out to Swan. Or Matt Swan. Daniel Bird coming wide here. They drop very deep in defence, don't they?
That one's overhit. Oh, what a shame. That one's just skidded on him on the grass a little bit. It's got a little bit of dew on it. Just got away from him.
Very interesting then, as Olympic were going forward with the ball, when Matt Swan had the ball, Lampton just dropped back. Didn't attack the ball. They just dropped back right on the 18-yard box, which is interesting. What would you? For me, I'd probably put pressure on the ball because they had numbers back there, but they'll just drop them back.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got numbers, you put a bit of pressure on. But if you haven't, then you're just going to hold him up, slow him down, and try and put him in a corner, show him the way you want him to go, to give your teammates to get time to get back. But it didn't pan out that way, and we see now Morris on the ball. He's quite happy to play it short.
And again, turnover. Probably, for me, probably a bit too much long passes at the moment. I'd like to get it a little bit shorter. Would you like to?
Yeah, look, as we said before, the team that's going to get their foot on the ball and keep the ball for longer, again, it's 2 and 3 touch and then long ball or turnover. And it's exactly right. So we may be just seeing that because the intensity of the first part of the semi-final.
So corner to Lampton, Joel Griffith, the Jets general manager. Great header by Joe Wheelhouse, but cut out by Olympic. Reece Pappas transitioned quite quick into attack. Got Goodchild on his left-hand side, on his right-hand side, sorry. Pappas. Yeah, well defended by Riley McNaughton. Lambton got numbers back there nice and quick. Great ball into Matt Swan and miscontrolled to Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse into Ryan Griffiths. Well controlled by Ryan Griffiths. Kyle Hodges just gave him a bit of a nudge. Foul to Lampton. And CT, Wednesday night, Ange Postecoglou, man of football. That was a great night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. I'd like the men of football nights anyway, but having him there was really something special. He spoke unbelievably and very specifically to the crowd of the 200 plus that were there in attendance.
And what I liked about it, he spoke about passion. Like, we had punters in the crowd asking him questions about his back three, and he was just passionate about it. He's passionate about football. He's telling about his childhood with his dad, being brought up in a pretty firm, strict Greek household. And, I thought he spoke very eloquently, and I thought he was brilliant, actually. Very intelligent guy.
Yeah, and I just loved his honesty.
Yeah, me too.
I thought there was no rubbish in there. It was just what you're hearing is what it was, and the crowd were clapping him, on several occasions just because of the words out of his mouth.
Cooper out to Bird. Bird back to Cooper. Kanarowski. Whoa. Kanarowski probably didn't have to make the challenge then. I think Cooper definitely slipped a little bit, and Kanarowski just probably gave him a little bit of a nudge, but he didn't have to make the challenge. He didn't have to win. He could have just made him play it backwards. They're in a good position here, Olympic. Reece Pappas coming over for the free kick. Lampton with a two-man wall. Verity and Odell. Sorry, Ben Hay. Good break by Ben Hay. Oh, the ball just went behind him. Ryan Griffith. Out to Job on the right-hand side. Great ball in by Job. Oh.
Terrific ball in there from Wheelhouse. He just put that on with a little bit of action, backspin to hold it up.
It looks like Tommy Davies fell quite awkwardly in the challenge. He's straight down, isn't he? He hasn't moved at all. But Job Wheelhouse's ball was just inch perfect, wasn't it? Here we go. With that nice clip in. Tyler Warren was sort of wanting a little bit. And Tyler Warren collected... Oh, he hit his head quite fiercely as he landed. Looks like he's okay, which is good for him and good for Hamilton.
Waiting for Hay to come back into play.
Good header by Marcus Duncan. Out to Joel Griffith. Great ball in. It's a Wheelhouse. Go. Oh, Ryan Griffiths with a great goal. What a great ball in by Joel Griffiths. Went over to Ryan Griffiths and straight across to Ryan Griffiths for the goal.
Oh, in the end, it was a simple header. Pulled through way through that.
I was waiting for the replay, but I couldn't.
But in the end, it seemed like a simple header, and Griffiths just in the end just had to pop it in the corner, plenty of area to hit, and gave Tyler Warren absolutely no chance there, Smudge.
Yeah, so it's Joel Griffiths' beautiful backstick ball to Joe Wheelhouse. He knocks the ball back across for Ryan Griffiths, who just guided the ball into the right-hand side, so making Tyler Warren having no chance. 1-0 to Olympic. Oh, to Lampton, sorry.
Do you need a break?
Oh, no. You had last night off, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Cut out by Kanarowski. Back to Verity. Forward.
Well, that's the start Lambton wanted, Smudge. They have got themselves into, a 1-0 position. And, just have your nose in front. We've had a bit over half an hour gone out. And, it's been a bit of an ugly affair so far. But it's just they'll be very, very happy with that result.
Tom Davies is struggling here. He just booted the ball out. I think he needs attention on the sideline. So Verdi with the throw-in. Yeah, it's been a pretty even first half. I think if you look at chances probably and looking balls into the box, you'd probably say Lampton maybe shades Olympic, do you think?
Well, in terms of field possession, you'd have to say that. We don't have any official statistic on that, but it seems like Lampton have had better of the territory. But for me, it's all been played in too tight an area, especially where the surface is a little bit greasy.
Agree.
So open it up, just get a little bit more depth from top to bottom and a little bit more from left to right for either side. I think they'll have a bit more joy in keeping a hold of the football.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, C2. So there's just been a change made. That's what we said. Tommy Davies not feeling real well after that challenge, so he's come off, and Cody Lucas has come on. Number 15, Cody Lucas to the right stopper side in the back three for Tom Davies. Kandarowski into Hay, back to Joel Griffith, plays it forward, too long for Tyler Warren. That was better by Lampton. A few little 1-2s in there, a few little triangles, which looked a lot better. But ball's come forward. Swan to Goodchild. Like a foul Morris on Pappas, but referee played on. So Tyler Warren with the ball. Kyle Hodges. He's got space, Kyle Hodges, to bring it forward. Plays it in the Mats one. To Goodchild. To Cooper. Better play by Olympic. Out to Marcus Duncan. Good pressure by Lampton. Good challenge by Kandarowski and McNaughton on the right-hand side. Reese Cooper. Andrew Swan wins the ball. McNaughton. Lampton with the throw-in. Just gone a little bit quiet here at Lampton at the moment. Fair throw to Joel Griffiths. Marcus Duncan trying to close down Joel Griffiths. Waits for support. to McNaughton. Cross. Back to goal, Griffiths. The 19-yard box. Ooh. Cooper to Reese Pappas. Good pressure by Verity and Sessions. Foul on Sessions by Daniel Bird. So Lampton with the free kick just on the halfway line. Lampton just taking their time, soaking up the minutes. Sessions with the free kick just inside the halfway line. Hits it long, looking for Joe Wheelhouse. Cleaned up by Andrew Swan. Forward to Pappas. And good pressure by Liam O'Dell. Back to Joe Wheelhouse. Tyler Warren, ball's gone back to Tyler Warren, the keeper. He punts it out. Good pressure by Lampton on Lampton's defence. McNaughton with the throw in. McNaughton again with the throw in. Very congested over in the far hand side. Not too many runners. Look like he's going for the long throw. Long throw in to Ryan Griffiths. Back to Ryan Griffiths. And shot just too wide. Goal kick to Olympic. So the last two times these clubs have played each other, Lampton won both games 3-2. One was in round 1 and the other one was in round 11. Tyler Warren with the goal kick. Up the Goodchild. Nice nod on for Bird. Cody Lucas. And a strong challenge by Verity on Cody Lucas. Olympic with the throw in. Cooper with the ball. Oh, referee says play on. 1-2 with Cooper. Oh. Cooper had a chance. Grant Brown was way free on the left-hand side. He tried to have a shot from about 25 yards up and Swancott easily kept it in. Nice header by Marcus Duncan. Hodges out to Grant Brown on the left-hand side. Cut out by Liam O'Dell. Throw into Hamilton Olympic. Marcus Duncan. Kandarowski cuts it out back to Joe Wheelhouse. Into Ben Hay. Good play by Lampton. That's a Verity. And a foul. Daniel Bird on Verity. Better play by Lampton. Better interchange between their plays. Good 1-2 touching. Better movement off the ball. So they're about 30 yards out. Joel Griffiths coming for the free kick. Looks like he's going to look for the back stick again for the likes of Joe Wheelhouse and his brother Ryan Griffith. It's in a dangerous position. Olympic have a 3-man wall. Marcus Duncan just covering the centre for any balls through. Joe Wheelhouse. Ooh. Good opportunity for Lampton. Gone missing. Great ball in by Joel Griffith to Joe Wheelhouse, and his header just guided past the post. Probably didn't connect that one how we'd like, Job. Here it comes again. Nice ball in. Job. Oh, just didn't get enough of the head on it. But as you can see, he was trying to guide it into that right-hand post. Good header by Kandarowski. Matt Swan on the ball. To Grant Brown. Wayward pass down for Reese Pappas. Throw to Lampton. Verity on the throw. Cooper. Verity. Good child. Good pressure by Kantarowski. Out to Reese Pappas. And again, cleared by Lampton. Lee Modell. Olympic with the throw in. So Grant Brown and Daniel Bird have swapped sides. Grant Brown coming on the right-hand side. There's Reese Tippett, former Magic player, warming up on the sideline. Well played by Verity. Hay with some space. Great ball in to Ryan Griffiths, but just a bit too far, and Ryan Griffiths was offside. That was better play by Lampton. Good interchange. Just with Olympic, yeah, Daniel Bird moving to the left-hand side, Grant Brown to the right-hand side, just trying to change it up a little bit. It's a good move by Bolch. Hay with some room in the middle of the park. Ryan Griffiths on the ball. Good pressure by Reese Cooper to force Ryan Griffiths backwards. Verity on the ball. Like to see a bit more width from Lampton here. Ben Hay. Back to Sessions. Sessions to Wheelhouse. Good touch by Wheelhouse on a bumpy pitch. Out to Odell. Cut out by Marcus Duncan. Better play by Lampton. Slowly starting to get into a bit of a groove now. Norton on the ball. Ball into Ryan Griffiths, just a bit too far. And Grant Brown's there to mop up. He's got space to bring the ball forward. Into Cooper. He's got time to turn. Cooper out to Bird. Good pressure by McNaughton. He's won the ball off Bird. He's advancing forward, and good strong challenge by Marcus Duncan. Back to Bird. To Grant Brown on the right-hand side. Pappas to Matt Swan. Play on. Matt Swan advancing forward. Out to Cooper. Great run by Cooper on the left-hand side. Oh, just the ball went just a bit too far. Oh, sorry, to Daniel Bird. Bird and Riley McNaughton. To Matt Swan. To Andrew Swan. Ball into Wheelhouse and well defended by Nathan Morris. And Joel Griffith, he's away. Down the right-hand side, Cole Hodges coming to cover defence and well defended by Cole Hodges. Joel Griffith with the throw-in. Players are a bit stagnant at the moment, not much movement off the ball. Riley McNaughton. So we're playing a bit of volleyball here. McNaughton. Cut out by Cole Hodges. Well read by Cole Hodges. Up the park. And Sessions on the ball. Verity. Verity to Ben Hay. Ben Hay advances forward through the centre of the park. Out to Joe Well. Well intercepted by Andrew Swan. Back to Reese Cooper. Pappas. Pappas going forward. Crosses it. And well defended by Nathan Morris. Back to Matt Swan. To Goodchild. Challenge on Goodchild. And it's a foul. Morris, yeah, a little foul from Morris on Goodchild. And it's good to have your mate back. I've been going solo for the last 5 minutes, CT. Good to have you back, mate.
Sorry, mate. Got shutdown works down in Sydney and a couple of things going on.
No, that's all good, mate.
Had to tend to the real job.
Yeah, got a bit stuck there, but it's all good. So foul. So we're about 20 odd yards out, 25 yards out. Reese Pappas on the ball. It was just a foul. Nathan Morris on Goodchild.
Well, this is not a bad position. Pappas will probably back himself from here. Swancott's he's really having a good hard look at where he wants his wall to be. He's going to shape this up and get it absolutely as far as he can, inch perfect, because Pappas is capable here, Smudge.
Oh, 100% agree. So,
and a good range to hit from. You got it just out far enough to get out over the wall and far enough to dip it.
Yeah, no, it needs to be better. Oh, great touch by Ryan Griffiths. Great ball by Jobs to Joel Griffiths. They're bursting forward.
It's another ball straight into Griffiths, but it didn't find its mark and easily picked up by Tyler Warren, who again he's rolled straight in to Cooper. That looks like from here, Smudge.
Yep, Cooper. Joel Griffiths. Pressure by Hodges. McNaughton on the right-hand side. For me, there's been so many throw-ins today, CT. The ball's gone out more times than most matches I've seen this year.
Well, I think that's just been the case of, the way the football's gone. So,
And that's half time. That's half time in the game. Lambton, Jaffas 1, Hamilton Olympic 0. What were your thoughts on the first half, CT?
I thought, to be honest, Smudge, there was a lot of turnover in the football. I think that both teams were playing in narrow and tight areas often, and I would have liked to have seen a bit more width in the game, top to bottom and left to right, and get some more possession. If I'm Michael Bolch, that's possibly what I'm going to talk to my team about at half time, because you get more possession on the football, you're going to create more opportunities, and at this stage, that's what they'll be looking for.
And what about Pascoe? What do you think Pascoe's message at half time going to be, CT?
Well, he'll be chuffed that they're one in front. There's no doubt about that, and he's probably going to be saying, look, there's a couple of things we need to work on. One is we keep the football a bit longer than what we have. Whether he wants to stretch them out or not, I'm not really sure, but he'll be happy that they're in front and probably just talk about possession. Okay,
we'll leave it there. So at half time at the match between Lambton and Hamilton, Lambton Jaffas 1, Hamilton Olympic 0. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Welcome back to the second half here over at Lambton Jaffas. We've got Lambton Jaffas leading at the moment, 1-0 over Hamilton Olympic. Smudge, we've just seen a pretty interesting first half. In all fairness, a little bit scrappy. What are your thoughts on the second half?
Yeah, I thought the first half was, a little bit. The turnover, the coaches wouldn't have been happy with the turnover. The conditions are tough, but I think Lambton probably shaded Olympic in the first half and probably deserved the lead at 1-0 at half time. But I think second half's going to be a little bit of a different story. I think it's very important for Lambton not to concede an away, like a home goal, or an away goal for Olympic. So so it's going to be a very tight affair. I think it's going to be like both coaches be hoping for mistake-free football. So, are you going to be with me for the whole 45 minutes, CT?
Yeah, well, we've had a couple of the work issues. I hope so. Yeah, Smudge.
Anyway, Lambton the kick-off. Ryan Griffith straight out to Verity on the left-hand side.
As we see Wheelhouse inject himself straight into the game, Kandarovski gets ball intercepted by Brown.
See, there's another turnover nice and early.
Yeah, as we see Paps on the ball, and he's getting some close attention from Verity.
The other thing in the first half, there was a lot of fouls, wasn't there? There was foul after foul, so stop-start the whole time, which probably didn't suit either side, to be honest. They couldn't get into a rhythm.
Yeah, I think you're right, but that happens when you're playing in such tight areas. And again, we can see, that the park, if you throw, if you were to draw a line around them and say that's where you're playing today, under normal circumstances, just say it's too tight, So for me, Lampton here, I'd love to see them open up, as we said before. If they can't push it high top because of the Olympic defence is sitting high, you can always stretch it back a little bit and build it out and then stretch them left to right also. Yeah,
totally agree. And I think both sides are doing that. I think they're both being just a little bit cautious in the opening league. Obviously, we always say you can't win a semi-final series in the first league, but you can lose it. So both teams have been a little bit cautious. Here's Joel Griffiths. He's in front. Great cross in. McNaughton on the back stick. Great cross. Oh.
And away by Hodges. I tell you what, Smudge, that could have easily been 2-0 up for Lambton.
Yeah, McNaughton, if the ball went into Ryan Griffiths' feet, he would have just flicked it in the goal to make it 2-0, but just sort of went just past him into Hodges' feet, and Hodges cleared it well. So Birds come out on this left-hand side again in the second half. Hodges. Andrew Swan to Matt Swan. I'd like to see Goodchild in this game a little bit more in the second half. We had a bit of a quiet half. McNaughton on the right-hand side. And a good, strong challenge by Marcus Duncan. McNaughton with the throw-in on the right-hand side. He's going for the long throw. Good header by Kandarovski out to Ryan Griffiths. And throw-in to Lampton.
Ball played into Griffiths.
Great ball in and great clearance by Cody Lucas. Great ball in by Riley McNaughton, wasn't it?
Yeah, he certainly put a great shape on it, and that's where you want the ball played in there because they're so dangerous. We see Joel Griffiths coming up to take this corner here. Got him on the screen. He's got numbers in the box, and so have Olympic. Delivered in. Wheelhouse up with Sessions and hit by Hay over the bar, and it was no trouble for Tyler Warren. Smudge.
Yeah, I was on his least favoured foot, Hay, on the right-hand side. So, no trouble for Tyler Warren. So Olympic with the goal kick. And again, Lampton just dropping a little bit deep. I'd probably like to see him right up on the halfway line, really condense the space. It's really tight. Even Olympic here, maybe Grant Brown just push out a little bit wider. It's very tight.
See Kandarovski up, missed it. Put back in the air by Morris. Touch from Griffiths. Swan out to Hodges. Hodges not a lot on, so he finds Tyler Warren. Warren's got no other choice really, go long and does so. Up towards Goodchild. A little knock in the back from Sessions. Referee didn't want to know about it.
Well, a bit of a stray pass by Liam O'Dell. Bird on the ball. Advancing forward. And good strong challenge by Liam O'Dell. Made up from his mistake earlier.
If Odell doesn't pick that one up, that tackle, Bird was going to look to strike on his next downward motion on his leg, that's for sure.
Cooper has got some time and space in the centre of the park. Ball out to Bird. He's one-on-one with Liam Odell. Driving into the box. Slips. Ball out to Grant Brown. It's a bit too congested, isn't it, CT?
It's just...
Oh!
It's just really hard to get a decent shot away when you're that tight together, Smudge.
Yeah, Cooper had a good strike. Good strike on goal, however, cleared by Nathan Morris. A bit lucky there, Lampton, a little bit. Swancott just having a bit of a laugh at the deflection by Morris.
Swan on the ball, delivers it in his left foot.
Yeah, just one. Oh! Pappas at the back stick. Swancott knew exactly what was going on there, didn't he? Just let the ball go over his head.
Now, Smudge, I was just wondering if you knew what you'd call an alligator with a vest on. What you'd call that?
An alligator with a vest on.
It's an investigator. And what about, why aren't koala bears real bears?
I have no idea, mate.
Koalas are not real bears because they have no koalifications.
That's really
Actually,
bad.
you look like you're half smiling.
No, it's really
you
bad.
are. You're smiling.
It's really bad. Liam
You
Odell.
are. Look, you're still smiling.
No, it's terrible. Liam Odell on the ball into the wheelhouse. Good pressure by one of the Swans. Daniel Bird going forward. Good pressure again by McNaughton. Back to wheelhouse. He's been good again today, wheelhouse, hasn't he? And a Lampton throw in. It's been a little bit scrappy, the game, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And look,
before, Joel Griffiths, he's on goal.
Onside.
One-on-one with Tyler Warren. Good save by Tyler Warren. Low to his right-hand side. Still in play with Verity. And it's a corner.
Look, in the end, Griffiths there, his angle wasn't great in that last moment. He's really done well to pick his spot. And Tyler Warren did get a great handout to save that, as we see him just push it wide and did enough to keep it out of the goal. So a little bit of fortune there for Olympic, because initially it looked a little bit tougher than what it ended up being.
So Lampton with the corner. Tell you what, Joel Griffiths done some doggies with the corners, hasn't he? Been either side of the park, taking the corners today. He's had quite a few. Good ball in. Oh, Tyler Warren. Oh, away from Olympic. He didn't get a full fist on that, did he?
No, he just wanted to clear it away, but he did anything but, and he was just lucky that it fell. One of his guys got a boot on it, as we see. Ball at the other end, and between Sessions and Goodchild. Goodchild back on the ball. He's going to release this one out. A clever little dink in there.
Oh!
Shouts for a penalty. We couldn't actually see it from here, Smudge. And then a bit of push and shove.
Yeah.
Let me go cuddle. There we go.
I'd like to see the replay on that. We couldn't see it from here.
Oh, gee, I tell you what.
He's just barged into the back of him, and he's actually still in the box. For me, that's a penalty.
Let's see if we can get one more quick look at that. Let's have another look. He comes in.
So ball's still in play.
He's inside the box. He's made no attempt on the ball right there. Look, that's a penalty for me.
That's a penalty for me as well. He's inside, even though he wasn't a threat on goal, he was inside the box and it was a foul. So that was a dead set penalty. Duncan on the ball. Great ball into Pappas. Ben Hay, well done by Ben Hay. Joel Griffiths on the ball. Out to Joe Wheelhouse. Good pressure by Bird. McNaughton. Nice touch by McNaughton. Gets past Bird down the right-hand side. And good challenge by Marcus Duncan. Intercepted by Marcus Duncan. Out for another throw-in. McNaughton on the ball.
I'm just hearing set it up, Ryan. So this may go long, and for a nod on the front stick. Hodges gets a nod on. Griffiths gets up.
Good early jump by Joe Wheelhouse, who wins the ball.
Brown with a cow kick and goes straight up in the air for Tyler Warren.
Willhouse can get a nod on here, which he does. Andrew Swan, great
Oh, and he
hit.
struck it off. What a strike from Swan.
Great nod on by Goodchild onto Swan. Great sort of on the volley.
Didn't expect him to hit it from there. Look at this. Just one strike at it and bang, there it goes. Hits the post and tell you, contender of goal of the year if that one goes in.
You could see that coming, actually. You could see, because Swan was on his bike, you could see Goodchild going to do the nod on. He was away. It's good to have that anticipation.
Absolutely. Look at this.
What a strike.
It is a strike. You know, if he takes another touch, he's going to narrow the angles. That's the great option, and what a strike.
And you look at all those world-class players like William Messi, Ronaldo, Damien Smith. They take it nice and early. What are you looking at? But yeah, they take the strike nice and early before the keeper can set themselves. By Andrew Swan just then. So Cody Lucas on the ball. Good to get an injury update on Tommy Davies. What happened? I know it was a tough challenge on him, but it'd be interesting to see what injury happened. And well shielded by Sessions. He's been rock solid again for today's Sessions.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Hey, Smudge, we've had a week off the Arnett's program this week. The kids with disabilities out there at Edgeworth, they do a terrific job. Mark Midson and all the guys that are involved out there. It's a week off this week because they've got the NPL Grand Final for the women.
Yes.
But the kids are playing next Saturday night between the under-23s and first grade.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, which would be fantastic. So looking forward to getting Charlie involved out there doing that with all the other kids. And I was just talking to the Maitland guys where they have their Football for All program. And that's a great program as well. So, you know, if you're in the Maitland area and you're looking to get involved in a program, give them a call. Go on their Facebook page. You'll be able to check them out. And the other one is out at Lakes. We were out there a few weeks ago and saw the disability program out there. And that was fantastic, watching the older guys go around and, you know, some of them playing for New South Wales and Australia.
Yeah, that was excellent. It's great to watch, isn't it? And it gives every person an opportunity. Great ball in for Pappas. Pappas is away here. One-on-one with Swancott. Oh, what a save by Swancott.
Brad Swancott. He's just saved his team at what looked to be a certain goal there, Smudge. Pappas was away. He rounded the keeper, but how did Swancott get something on that?
What he did, look, you see, he kept his feet. He didn't dive in, kept his feet. That's experience. But there was good cover in Verity, Morris, and Liam Odell at the back there. So Pappas still had some work to do, but well done by Swancott.
Swan. Oh, straight into the near post. Brad Swancott. And we'll go back out for another corner. And
without looking at my sheet, what Swan is kicking the corner, CT?
Just Swan. They look exactly the same. I don't know.
Oh, another great corner. Another corner out for Andrew Swan. Andrew's in the number 9 shirt, mate. Matt's in the number 7.
9 Swan, 7 Swan.
Andrew Swan again. Oh, handball. Olympic claim for handball. It sort of bounced quite awkwardly. I think it was Liam O'Day. Here we go. It bounced. Missed clearance. Looked like it came off Kandarowski's hip, / hand. It's hard one to call. Long throw by Olympic. Out by Kandarowski.
We're loving the replays here, Smudge. Gives us another great look. Boys doing it, Bar TV, doing a terrific job.
Oh, they do a brilliant job every week. Not just here, but all over the state, do they?
And all sports. Covering off everything they are. They're having an absolute field day, changing the way we go about looking at our local sports, netball, AFL, rugby union, rugby league. They're all over it.
Brian Griffiths on the ball.
You just sense another goal coming, or it's just not far away, is it?
Which way, but?
I don't know. I mean, it's certainly the momentum's sitting with Olympic at the moment. We see Bird. 7 Swan.
You know what I'd like to see? It's handball by Ron. I'd like to see Goodchild. He's just sort of staying high and wide, and they're sort of picking him off. I'd like to see him just drop a little bit, try and pick up the ball, turn and face the defenders in those pockets, and start running at defenders. That's where he's good at, as you know. He scored many a goal like that. I remember seeing him he scored a goal here in the second round against, obviously against Lampton. Pappas again. Pappas is away. He's one-on-one with Swancott. Swancott just a bit too... Yep, Swancott.
Yeah, Swancott there, he shows the experience. He knows when to go and knows when to stay, doesn't he? And on this occasion, he comes out, sees the ball to safety.
He's been good again this year, Swancott, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
gets better with age, doesn't he?
Every time we talk about him, he makes a mistake.
Here we go, a substitution for Lampton. Joe Wheelhouse has been superb again today. Coming on for Pat Brown. I've been able to see the shuffling shape here, actually, with Pat Brown. So it looks like Ryan Griffiths has dropped back into playing that number 10. They're playing with two number 10s in Ben Hay and Joe Wheelhouse. However, Job's come off. Looks like Ryan Griffiths just has dropped back and Pat Brown's just pushed up front in the number 9 role. Joe Wells, another great game by Joe Wheelhouse. Like I said, he's only played 30 minutes prior to this game in 8 weeks of football.
And you expect that one's just a tactical manoeuvre to say, all right. Oh, what a wonderful ball into Griffiths. Joel Griffiths delivering a good cross in, just didn't get past Hodges on that occasion. Yeah, Smudge, they're taking him off, no doubt, just a precaution. Look after his body. Now he's played, a good 15 minutes into the second half.
Well, they have to play Olympic next week, so you don't want him injured. You don't want to push him too hard because they definitely need him on the park next week.
It's where the reshuffle of the team is very important, isn't it? So you get your balance right to counter him not being there.
Yeah, so Ryan Griffiths just going back in that number 10 role where Joe was. Him and Hay just playing in behind the front two, so with Kenarowski just sitting in front of the 3 at the back.
See Brown hit that one straight into Verity.
It's a handball. So Andrew Swan on the ball. Turns inside Kenarowski.
Smudge, we look like... Come on.
Out to Cody Lucas.
Smudge, we look like we've got a couple of little friends here. We'll just see who they're here watching when we just get half a break in play.
Out to Reece Cooper. Just hold there 1 sec, CT.
Ball gets cleared from Morris.
Ryan Griffiths. And the ball's out. Yeah, over to you, CT.
So we've got a little visitor. What's your name?
Phoebe.
And where are you from, Phoebe?
Newcastle.
That's a good answer. Now, who are you here watching today?
I don't know.
Mum, can you help? You're here to watch Olympic? Do you know someone at Olympic?
No.
Who's your favourite player?
I don't know.
Say Michael Bolt.
Okay then.
All right, well, you take your blue mouth and that lolly and you can have a good afternoon. At least you got the right coloured tongue for Olympic. It's blue, right? Blue.
So Verity's with the yellow card with a foul on one of the Swan boys. I think it was Matt Swan. Good interview, CT.
Yeah, no,
you didn't get much out of that.
Tell her a joke, but she's already looking scared.
Yeah. She was sucking on a lollipop or an ice cream, but definitely coloured blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, well.
With blue teeth.
Someone from Olympic. She's from Newcastle, so that's about as good as the interview got.
So it looks like Grant Brown. Is this a substitution? We can't see from where we are. Yep.
It is.
So Scott Smith's come on for Grant Brown.
Well, he's an attacking move as well, isn't it? I mean, when you say he's just giving some fresh legs, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Very dangerous player, Scott Smith. He's had a good season for Olympic and going back to Charlestown next year. Pappas on the ball.
Well, he and Smith there, the combination, received ball delivered in, takes a deflection and out for a corner. So,
CT, we need to start thinking about our Sports Click man of the match and our Harry Snitzel play of the day. Obviously, Sports Click, Puma apparel. If you need to know more about Sports Click, go and see Joel Grinnell or visit his Facebook page. Great ball in. Another throw in.
Yeah, and we've got options here, haven't we? We've got the tracksuit jacket underneath and the hoodies that have kept us nice and warm on a cool winter's afternoon as the ball gets delivered in. Look out for another corner.
It's about third corner in a row. So Reece Cooper's going over to take the corner. Yeah, so if you want to know more about Sports Click and their array of apparel, go and see Joel Grinnell up at the Azuri Club or click on the Sports Click Facebook page. Great ball in by Wright. Good shot, unlucky with the header, out to Smith. Good pressure by Hay. Cleaned up by Kanarowski.
Handball there from Hodges, so he'll make his way quickly back into the defensive line.
And we've got our Harry Snitzel player of the day. Love Harry Snitzels, don't we, CT?
We do. You use the cucumber on your eyes. What about the rest of your makeup in the burger, in the schnitty?
In the city, yeah, I get the famous minus the cucumber with the sweet chilli sauce is one of my favourites.
Yeah, cucumber straight in the eyes.
Yeah, minus the cucumber. Ball over the top. Good child putting pressure on Sessions. Sessions back to Swancock. So if you want to visit Harry Snitzels, you can visit him at Marketown, The Junction, and Jesmond. Out to Verity on the left-hand side. Into Ben Hay. Ben Hay's been quite solid today. Oh, solid challenge on Ben Hay by Matt Swan. Andrew Swan, sorry. Pappas on the ball. Forward to Goodchild. And the ball skids out for a goal kick. So what did you make of last night's game, CT? I know you were at a 50th, a good friend's 50th last night, while Ben and myself froze from the magic box. I had to put a bit of lip gloss on my lips because they're so cracked from the wind last night. It was absolutely freezing cold. But it was a great game of football under the conditions. And Edgeworth, I thought just showed him magic in the end and probably deserved the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So, just heard the result. But, it's a good start for Edgeworth. There's no doubt about that. And I'll be licking their lips the chance to finish it off next week at home.
Yeah, I think the beauty for Magic is McBreen had a good chance to make it 2-0 and there was a call for a penalty, which to me, it was touch and go, probably could have been a penalty. So just losing 1-0 keeps you in the game for the second week. So, Magic would be buoyed with confidence the way they played last night, but same with Edgeworth. They're a quality outfit, Edgeworth. And away from Andrew Swan. So what they've done, Pappas has just dropped a little bit deeper. Or on the right-hand side, actually. And offside to Pat Brown. So just looking at this shape, it looks like they've taken Grant Brown off. They've pushed Pappas on the right-hand side, moved Smith up front and dropped Reece Cooper back in that number 10 role where Pappas was playing. So,
which is not a bad manoeuvre because...
yeah, I like Cooper down that number 10 role.
Cooper, he can create a lot of problems for opposing defences. He's just he's got a great understanding.
Ben Hay's had a good game. Ben Hay, he's been busy today. Ben Hay, he's looked dangerous every time he's had the ball, and well defended by Marcus Duncan out for a corner, Lambton corner. So for me, I know it's early days, we've still got 20 minutes to go. I think people who are probably I think Ben Hay would be one of the best on the ground so far. Everyone's been solid, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Everyone's just been solid. It's been a stop-start sort of game. No one's really taken control over the game. But for me, Ben Hay's been busy. He's even then, he's in and out, causing a few problems for Olympic. Joel Griffiths with the corner. Great ball in. Oh, Ryan Griffiths, unlucky, right on the noggin, wasn't it? That was a great opportunity for him.
Brother to brother, you just know that they, if it's where he's going, you just got to half glance him. They're on.
So going back to the Griffiths boys, I've asked you this question before, CT. I've asked you twice, and once you got it wrong. So there's Adam Griffiths, there's Joel Griffiths, and there's Ryan Griffiths. Who are the set of twins?
I don't know.
I've asked you 3 times, and you've got it. You've got it wrong.
I haven't really
you've
digested it, have I?
And the other thing is, with the 3 brothers, obviously the twins are born on the same day, but the younger brother is born on the same. They have the same birthday as well.
Is that right?
Yeah. So the 3 boys are born.
I was probably surprised last time you asked me.
So I'm full of research, mate. And Joel Griffiths just offside.
He's saying he's quick.
Yeah, so the twins are Joel and Adam, with Ryan the younger of the 2. Or 3, sorry. This game's sort of just sitting, sort of coming into Lambton's hands, I feel, because it's just stop-start. There's a lot of turnover. They're sort of just winding the clock down. There's about 20 minutes to go. Not too many chances created. It's very condensed, so there's not much space out there, so it's hard to get free-flowing football.
Swan plays that one all the way back. Tyler Warren, who equally sends it back to where it came from. Header from Hay to Swan. Smith, which I'm thinking a good child, doesn't make it. Cleared by Sessions.
Pat Brown. Ryan Griffiths going for a long cross. Just went a bit too far. Throw into Olympic. You hear Pascoe barking out his trips on the sideline.
Well, we've got Ridge Marpu coming on. Don't blame me for this one, Smudge, but this is from Gary Fisher. My missus just split up with me because she thinks I'm obsessed with football. Okay. I'm a bit gutted because we've been going out for 3 seasons.
That one's actually funny. Yours are terrible, but that one's actually funny.
3 seasons.
Gary. So just with the substitution, Riley McNaughton comes off in place of Ridge Marpu. That's a good change by Pascoe. Bit of fresh legs on there. Riley McNaughton's had a solid game on this right-hand side.
Smudge, I'm just getting that was my best one from the punters just here. It's not even my joke.
That's what I mean. That was the best one. Gary Fisher, full of jokes. He's out at the Women's Premier League Grand Final with our good old mate Bart, Ben Homer, calling the game. And the Smith, it's a good child. Great ball over. Well defended by Verity.
It's not done yet.
No, well defended by Verity. Just got his body in front of Cooper and let the ball run out for a goal kick. So just on Ben Homer and Daniel McBreen, they've been selected to call the round of 16 for the FFA Cup that's been confirmed this week. So a big congratulations to our Ben Homer and our mate Daniel McBreen, who done a fabulous job in the game Sydney United versus North Queensland Fury, round of 32.
Yeah, this is great news, and particularly for Ben. He's worked so hard. You know how hard he works, Smudge, doing all of his research, and just what a great job he does, you know. And not until we throw ourselves into this sort of throng that we realise what a talent he actually is. And, you know, I've said it before, I've listened to him call a rugby league match, and it was at Souths one day, South versus Cessnock. It had been bucketing rain, it was mud, and Bart was calling it fluently, you know, and you just know that he's got a big future in this profession if he chooses to go that way. I'm sure he will. But, yeah, we're very proud of him and looking forward to watching him on Fox Sports with Macca.
Yeah, it's good to see Macca doing a great job on Fox Sports. I enjoy watching Macca on Fox Sports. It brings a bit of comedy to the team on Fox Sports. Verity, great ball in. Ryan Griffiths. Oh. Great ball by Verity on the half volley for Ryan Griffiths. A great save by Tyler Warren. Stood nice and strong there, Tyler Warren.
We've got all of Tyler's mates sitting right next to us here, Smudge, and they haven't really pumped it into him yet. And they're not calling it mates, just loose associations, Smudge. But they've been reasonably quiet on T-Woz, and we expect, that token hand clap he got, they were telling him to catch it. Anyway, we see the ball being swung in by Griffiths again, goes in, and this time Session gets a head on it, takes the deflection, and out for a corner on the other side.
Yeah, I think there was a deflection from Scott Smith. It'd
be interesting to see if Joel Griffiths, is going to run all the way over to the other side and take this, which he is.
That's what I mean. He's been doing doggies with the corners all day. That's probably the most he's ran in a whole game. I've never seen so many corners taken by Joel Griffiths, and that's a fair ball in. That's a 45-yard ball. So doing that for most of the day, it takes some energy.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're an 18-year-old doing it, but anyway, he obviously wants to take a great ball in. Cleared.
Griffiths on the ball. Another great ball in. Ben Hay. Hay's a goal. Great strike by Hay. Verity's on goal again. Well clearance. Great defend by Kyle Hodges, wasn't it? Are you listening to me, CT? Great defended by Kyle Hodges.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just one on the ball. And again, turnover. That's a foul, yeah. Heavy touch by Swan. Great challenge. Liam O'Dell wasn't happy with that. Swan with the yellow card. Yep, just over the ball. That was a heavy touch by Andrew Swan. So CT next weekend, 1 o'clock at Hamilton Olympic. Hamilton versus Lampton in the second leg. At 7:30, it's Edgeworth versus Magic in the second leg, with Edgeworth taking a 1-0 lead into the second semi-final. And then on Sunday at 4 o'clock or thereabouts, it's the New FM Grand Final between...
Well, it's going to be Belmont Swansea is one of them, and we've got Cooks Hill playing today, who are 3-0 up.
With away goals, aren't they?
With away goals, so big task for them.
The other thing we've got coming up is Verity on the ball. Verity driving to the box. Good pressure by Olympic. Verity snapshot, yeah. So the other thing we've got coming up as well is our live grand final show, which will be Friday night at 7 p.m. live. There's going to be about 4 cameras, I've been told, and there's a few producers from the NBN coming over to help out. And yeah, so we'll keep you posted about that.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So all those people come and do the show with us, are they?
I think so.
Okay.
They're bringing a makeup artist for yourself, mate, so you might look okay.
It's not just me we need to worry about. Yeah, I'm definitely on the list. But
Joel Griffin and Pascoe just having a bit of a chat on the sideline, just working out what pub we're going to go to after the pub for a beer. Cody Lucas has done a good job for Tommy Davies coming on. It was a tough time to come on, just early in the game after about 20 minutes or so.
Bird's got an attacking nature look about him at the moment. Tries to find Pappas.
Cody Lucas, well defended by Cody Lucas, out to Scott Smith.
I'm going to take a punt here and say that Joel Griffiths may come off with Reece Tippett to come on.
Smith on the ball. Good child. This is where I like to see good child. Facing up, running at players. Like to see him with a bit. Good child. Pappas back to good child. Wolf defended. Out to Smith. Out to Swan. Great ball. Oh.
Just tapped away by Swancott and just got some fingers onto it. The ball goes out.
That was better play by Olympic, wasn't it? Good interchange play.
Yeah, well, they were attacking in numbers and they were moving forward with the ball, which is always a good sign. Bird
into Smith. Good turn by Smith.
Big numbers in defence for Lampton. The ball goes
Cooper
outside.
Swancott cleans it up. So 15 minutes to go, CT, what are your thoughts? Do you think there's going to be another goal?
Well, look, I thought we'd have one by now already. It hasn't happened, but the defence of Lampton seems to be holding fairly strong. As I speak, commentators curse.
What?
And there it goes in there.
Reece Cooper made the deep run. A little mistake at the back from Lampton, and what a great finish by Reece Cooper.
I was just saying, Smudge, how strong they've been holding the defence of Lambton Jaffas, but Reece Cooper has found a way through.
Let's look at the replay. So a ball forward by Kyle Hodges, and a bit of
miscommunication and lack of header, and Cooper pounced on that, and he's just popped it away in the bottom corner. Smudge, what an important goal for Olympic right there.
What I liked about Reece Cooper, and this is what he does well, he runs from deep, and he anticipated the ball over the top. Nathan Morris just misjudged it a little bit, probably got a little bit of a nick onto it, and it fell into his lap. He finished it perfectly past Swancott. Swancott was already off his line, not expecting that, and great finish by Reece Cooper. 1-1 here at Lampton Jaffas. Lampton 1, Hamilton Olympic 0. And just on that, there's been a change. Reece,
it's 1-1 at this stage.
Lampton Jaffas 1, Hamilton Olympic 1. What did I say?
1-0.
Oh.
Anyway, expect nothing else from that sort of commentary, Smudge.
Oh, no, sorry. I was too busy thinking about the change. So Joel Griffiths has come on for Reece Tippett. There's been a change for Lampton Jaffas. So yeah, I do apologise. It's 1-1. So that's an away goal for Hamilton Olympic.
Well, we thought that might have been the case when Griffiths was talking to Jimmy Pascoe, and that's probably ominous that he was. And then Tippett was warming up. So. Look, the other thing is, Bolch has put Cooper in that position for that reason, hasn't he? He made a conscious decision. That's where he's going to be a threat.
Yeah, well, you know what? He's one of the best number 10s in the league, isn't he? Coming from deep, able to face up rather than be up front. So it's been a great move by Michael Bolch, just swapping them around, pushing Pappas a little bit wider, bringing Cooper in that number 10 role, or sort of more the wide role. He's sort of, to be honest, he's playing a little bit more wider with a little bit more space on the right-hand side. So it looks like he's sort of Good shot on the ball. Yeah, good challenge by Kandarowski. Yeah, good win by Kandarowski.
Oh.
And there's the foul on Ryan Griffiths.
That one's a bit over enthusiastic from Hodges. That one was, that's a foul for me. But you know what? Let's just get his team back in shape again and get their defensive lineup sorted out.
Yeah, just on Reece Cooper, he's not really playing in the number 10 role. Sort of, Pappas is doing that. He's sort of playing a little bit wider with a bit more space, and that's what you'd like to see. So he can open up, face up, and attack. Pappas out to Cooper. Here he is on the right-hand side.
He's cutting inside and looking to release Bird. Finds him.
Yep, nice touch. Good child. This is where good child's.
Well, it was close. Good vision there from Goodchild. He knew what he was trying to do. It just didn't make it.
And here's another substitution. Looks like Reece Pappas is coming off. He's had a solid game, Reece Pappas. Like I said, it hasn't been a midfield sort of game, has it? It's been stop-start. It hasn't been too much fluency through the midfield. But he's coming off. Reece Pappas is coming off for Sean Pratt. Great to see Sean Pratt on the park as well. He's been out for a number of weeks with an ankle injury.
Well, the other player I think's had a good game is Verity.
Yeah, Verity's been good.
He's been good in defence. He's also been very present in attack.
Yeah, well played by Ryan Griffiths. Here, Verity, the man you're just talking about.
And for Griffiths, back to Verity. He's got nothing forward, so he's probably going to have to go back or sideways. He does, finds Hay. Kandarowski.
Odell. Out to Ridge Marpu. He likes going his one-on-ones, Ridge Marpu. Here he goes.
He drives at players, and he rolls that one into Griffiths. Oh, he almost found Reece Tippett there. Almost with a little glancing touch. Ball goes out for a corner. Well, we've had Joel Griffiths taking these, and we see Nathan Morris making a long run from centre of the back to come and take this one. Reece Tippett's gone and slotted himself in the middle of the back line.
Actually, I'm surprised Morris isn't taking the corners. He whips a beautiful dead ball, doesn't he? In saying that, Joel Griffiths whips in a great ball as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If he's up around that end of the park.
Yeah. Ball in, Verity. Oh. Hills for handball on Swan. A big throw in. Birds rushing up to get the ball. There's about eight or so minutes of play left. Or regulation play left. Good shot on the ball. Out to Bird. Ball pressured by Lampton. Forcing Olympic to play it backwards. Ryan Griffiths on the ball. Out to Tippett. Tippett forward to Pat Brown. Ooh, bit bobbly, wasn't it? And Ridge Marpu with the throw in.
Daniel Bird's had a good game as well, Smudge.
I think most players have had good games, but no one's just really stamped their authority on the game. Like I said, for me, Ben Hay's been very dangerous. Pat Brown. Well, I had initial thoughts. I thought that was a foul on Pat Brown. He's hurt. He's hurt.
Well, we saw him hurt his, what I believe was his elbow out at Edgeworth. I think he's got up okay. Yeah, he seems fine. Back to Morris, who sends it down and looks for Verity. Gets a header on it. Ball's played forward into Goodchild. Gets a touch on it.
To be honest, Morris has been solid at the back, hasn't he?
He's
held his line really well. Here's Andrew Swan.
He's tried to unleash another strike like he did before, but he didn't catch any good piece of that. So at this stage, Michael Bolt should just be happy with a goal at this point in the game.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Do you know, like, the interesting fact, we said at the start of the game, that both of these sides have scored in every game this season. And they've done it again today. So every game they've played in this year, they've scored, which is quite an amazing stat. It is
actually, and you know, especially when you look at the back lines of both sides of how solid they are. Screening midfielders in front, and it just shows you the strength of the strike force of each of the sides also to make that happen.
Cody Lucas advancing forward, great ball into Scott Smith. It's the 1-2 with Cody Lucas, just been caught a little bit. Just went a little bit too far for him. And Matt Swan cuts it out. Matt Swan into Cooper. Cooper lost possession to Reece Tippett. Reece Tippett to Pat Brown. And well defended by Andrew Swan. It's a bit bumpy playing through the centre. It's too crowded. We just need both teams need more width, I feel.
Yeah, it's been that way from kickoff, to be honest, and it hasn't really straightened out. Even right now, you've got both teams in one quarter of the pitch, Smudge.
Yeah, if I was Lampton, see Ridge Marple, I'd be getting him right out here on the edge. There's enough defenders there. There's enough players to cover if the ball breaks down in the centre of the park. If he comes right out here, he's going to force Bird to come out, and that opens the space. Great ball in. Oh, well defended by Kyle Hodges. Great ball in by Pat Brown. Sean Pratt with the ball. Throw into Lampton. So we've got our Harry Snitzel player of the day. CT, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think Brad Swancott's a nomination at least for his save down there when Pappas was away. A great example for young goalkeepers. Stay on your feet, kept nice and low, and then just picked which way he went, and then he spread his body, made him big. He did have numbers behind him, as you said, Smudge. But, you know, in honesty, he really diffused what could have been a goal for Olympic.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, CT. There hasn't been too much, like I said, hasn't been too much action, has there, in this game? So
not a lot. And the other one you've mentioned is Hay. I think he's had a solid game. In a game that doesn't suit a midfielder because it's just so tight and congested. So, you know, in a lot of ways it's like playing indoor soccer almost, where you've just got to work in really tight areas all the time. It's not necessarily the way you want to go. As we see Griffiths on the ball, delivers it in. Mapu charging the back stick.
Kyle Hodges again comes to the rescue. He's had another solid game as well. You know what? All the players have been quite solid, haven't they? But not outstanding, but solid.
Mapu just over-touched that one. He's a good child. Bird. Some good
Matt
skill
Swan,
there.
yeah. Back into Cooper.
Cooper gets that one of Swan.
I've just found when Job's come off, Olympic have just started to get on top in the middle of the park. Great. Oh, just too far.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to mention that because you're probably giving a shellacking, but...
No, seriously, when Job's come off, Olympic's just got on top in that middle of the park, haven't they? And here's Pat Brown. He's going forward. He's got past Marcus Duncan on his left-hand side. He's cut back in. Well defended by Marcus Duncan. Stood his ground and defended well. It's out to Ridge Marpu. Back to Odell. Back to Marpu. Birds put pressure on him. Ben Hay again wins the person. He's been good, Ben Hay, for me. Ken Rossi's been solid as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Back to Verity. He's been solid as well.
As has Bird. Yeah, we could go through the numbers, but look, Kanarowski ball in. Shouldn't trouble Tyler Warren. And again, his mates go up next to us, led by a good friend, Tom Shelley, leading the crowd there. The boys are into it. They're loving having T-Walls in goals.
Talking about good games, for me, also Nathan Morris has been rock solid on Goodchild. He's given Goodchild no space whatsoever. And
it's a very good point.
Yeah, and you know what, to me, he's restricted Olympic to just minimal chances. And to me, I think he'd be pushing for sports click man of the match as well. Cole Hodge has been great for Olympic as usual. Great 1-2 with Pratt and Smith. Pratt down the right-hand side, going forward. Verity trying to cover. Gave him some room, and the ball's just gone too far for Goodchild.
That's an absolute air swing from Mapu.
Yeah, it's amazing when you get a bit of pressure on you. Great ball in. Swan's on the ball. And corner kick. Yeah, when you get a bit of pressure, he just took his eye off the ball, Mapu, and just totally missed it. Here it goes. Comes across.
That won't make his highlight reel. He's just lucky there that ball wasn't put away. Good
chance for Cooper too. On his least favoured foot, the left foot, but that was a great opportunity for Olympic.
He's rubbish. Coach, why'd you put him on? Get rid of that fight.
Ball in.
No fight. No good.
Swan. It's hard to see on this angle, isn't it, CT? We've got everyone sort of in front of us in the shed, so it's hard to call the game when it's down this right-hand side with this call off the screen. Odell kicks the long ball forward to Mapu. Well defended by Marcus Duncan. Out to Bird. Bird goes forward into Goodchild. And Good defend. I'll tell you what, Lampton's back three, the centre back three have been very good. Sessions, Odell, Morris. They've kept Goodchild very quiet today. Cooper facing forward.
Yeah, well, I was just talking about that before when they had a little bit of confusion and Cooper scored. But other than that, I think they've been solid all game.
Agree. Like Magic last night, I thought their back three, it's a foul on Olympics. Swan by Marpu. In good position for Olympic here. Even last night, they had Piddington, John Griffiths and Matt Hill were very impressive, the back three for Magic. However, one slip in concentration, they got exposed, goal to Edgeworth. I just have a nomination from Robert Virgili watching the Bar TV live at home. Here comes the free kick. Great ball in. So one of our biggest supporters is Robert Virgili, an ex-former Magic coach. He's at home watching Bar TV and he's given us a nomination for Player of the Day. And he's saying, yes, Swancott, the way he held his ground.
It's not actually what I read on your,
isn't it?
text, Smudge.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So Smith on the ball. Hey, Frankie. Good, mate.
Ball's been played back out and it's going to come back in. I think straight into the path of what would be Swan. Picks it up. And this one is looking like it's going to go out for a throw-in. So, yeah, we've got a few nominations here, Smudge.
Yeah, for me, I think Nathan Morris has been solid at the back for Lampton. Cole Hodge is always solid. You know what? But the set of players have been good. Everyone's been good today. There's been not many real standout, absolutely very impressive players. But for me, Ben Hay's been busy for Lampton. Back and forth, busy in defence, busy in attack.
Yeah, I think what I like about him as well, it's on a day, as you said before, it doesn't suit midfielders because you're playing in such tight areas. I think that's a big testament to him. And Brad Swancott, happy player of the day for his save there, goal-saving save. And equally down the other end from Marpu with the same from Bird, swings in. Ball comes back out to Hay. Hay's had a strike, and what a strike it is! Oh my gosh! What a strike from Hay! He's pulled that one out from good 30 metres, Smudge.
What a great strike. We just spoke about Ben Hay. He's been brilliant today, and that just caps off his man of the match, sports man of the match.
Oh,
30 metres. What a strike. Came from nowhere, and that's going to hurt Olympic right in injury time. What a strike. 25 yards out. Hits it clean. Tyler Warren had no chance in the top right-hand corner. What a strike. What a goal. Wow.
That's Lambton Jaffas 2, Hamilton Olympic 1, and what a dramatic finish to this game, Smudge. We were just talking about him giving an man of the match performance, Sports Click man of the match, and he's just done that one. He's finished that one off in style, absolutely.
Oh, I totally agree. That's what I mean. He's been everywhere. That's why he's my nomination, because he's been there in defence. He's worked pretty hard. He's been there in attack. He's the one who's looked fairly dangerous for Lampton. And there you go. He scores a bomb of a goal. Out to Sean Pratt. To Swan. Swan crosses the ball to Andrew Swan. And good pressure by Ben Hay on Andrew Swan. Just to put a bit of pressure on him, making shoot it wide.
He's just sprayed that one just off the outside of his boot, and it's just got away from him a fraction there.
It's good to see you back, CT. You tend to be walking off, leaving me by myself a few times today.
No, we just interaction there, Smudge. We've just got Swancott on the ball. Tell you what, Ben Hay's heart rate would be still just highly accelerated. Jamie Burns just said through it. Condition, that was a bomb of a goal.
And that's full time. That's full time in the game. Lampton 2, Hamilton Olympic 1. They go next week to
back over to Olympic. So, you know, look, while we get Smudge out there to, he'll go and talk to the man of the match in Ben Hay, and then we'll also see if we can get a hold of Brad Swancott as well, and see if we get a chat to him. So Smudge just go and organise that one. And what a terrific finish to that game. That strike there from Ben Hay, that's an absolute bomb. As I mentioned, Jamie Burns just sent a message through saying that's an absolute bomb, and we couldn't agree more, as it left Tyler Warren just absolutely nowhere. And in this this position here. This takes Lampton in with a lead 2-1 over Olympic next week. So that'll be an exciting match. Overall, if we're going to sum this one up, it's probably going to look like, a situation where we've had two teams that were playing in tight areas for a lot of the game, and with that, it just meant that the top to bottom, left and right, it was all very tight and congested. So we see the players coming off the pitch at the moment. You can see Tyler Warren just about to come into screen here now, and he's looking quite dejected as he walks off, just getting the top of his head there. So Lambton players very, very excited about their efforts there, and just see them coming off the park. So as I said, Smudge is just trying to wind up Ben Hay and get him to come over, and also going to speak to Brad Swancott for the play of the day as well. So all in all, it's been a great afternoon of football. We started off with looking like some rain. It just rained not for too long. It stayed off for us. Ended up being quite a good afternoon for it. It was a little bit slippery underfoot, but as I said, the rain stayed off, and it ended up penning out a great afternoon for the game. Look, for next week, if you're going to change anything as a coach, probably what you're going to say to the teams, both teams for my liking, is that when you get some more possession on the ball, and the best way to do that is from high to low and left to right, stretch it out when you've got the football. Try and condense it when when the other team's got the ball. But all in all, I think creating some more space, so just playing lots of the game in short areas. So, look, it looks like we don't have Ben Hay just at this moment, but we've got Brad Swancott with Smudge. So, and Ben Hay's on his way down now. So, yeah, as I said, that'll be the key message for the teams next week, is to open the field play up and get a bit more possession. But Ben Hay joins Damien Smith. Smudge just down on the sideline.
A little bit of rain at the start, a little bit bumpy out there. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, the first half, it was a battle. We played well the first half, and the second half was just different, but it's good to get the goal at the end and finally get the win that the boys deserve, really. So, yeah, good.
Yeah, we said at the start it wasn't going to be a midfield battle because it was a bit bumpy, it was windy, but you got yourself very well into the game, working off the ball, working hard in defence, got a bit of a cut above your eye, so you got stuck in there. But also in attack, you looked threatening all the time.
Yeah, it was definitely a day to play conditions. I mean, as you said, it was bumpy, so the boys dug deep, and credit to them, and happy we got the result, really. So,
mate, we'll just give you a bit of a wrap just before you hit the bomb from 30 yards out, believe it or not. What a strike.
Look, it was late in the game. To be honest with you, I couldn't be bothered running, so I thought I'd just hit it. Yeah, hope for the best.
Now, mate, it's great to have Job Wilhouse and Nathan Morris back in the side. Nathan Morris was rock solid at the back. Your back three were rock solid. But Job in the centre of the park, he really dictated things in the first half.
Yeah, he's a player that makes a big difference when he comes back, and hopefully he'll be good for next week. So.
Yeah, I thought actually when he came off, Olympic started to get on top, especially in the midfield. So, yeah. And just finally, you're 2-1 up, first leg. You're going to Olympic next week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, man, it's going to be a tough game, exactly like today. But, I'm confident in the boys, and as long as we execute what we do at training, I think we'll be right.
Okay, Ben Hay, congratulations on Sports Click Man of the Match, mate. Thanks, mate. Good luck next week. I'll hand you over the CT for our Harry Snitzel player of the day with the old veteran, Bradley Swancott.
Yeah, we're just mentioning Swanee here with Brad Swancott. What are you, 47, 48 now?
38, mate. Thanks for that.
38, yeah. Now, all jokes aside, we're here with Brad for the Player of the Day. Now, the reason we've given you Player of the Day, Swanee, is that the save that you made on Cooper down there. He was coming at you at speed. He'd rounded you, but you stayed on your feet, kept nice and low, and then you were looking for which way he went. When you made the save, you got down, you picked which way he was going to go, got a hand to it and guided the ball out. Is that something you work on still at the tender age of 48?
Oh, not really. I don't like too many one-on-ones, mate. I try and avoid them if I can, but I was just trying not to commit too early so I didn't give a penalty away. So I've given a couple of them away this year and probably learnt from my mistakes, I think. So.
Yeah, and as a result for the game, what a strike from Hay there at the end.
Yeah, Benny Hayes does that quite regularly at training, believe it or not. But, yeah, we're pretty disappointed with the goal that we gave away. But it's good to move into the second leg 2-1 up. So looking forward.
Absolutely. And as far as the game next week goes, Wheelhouse came off probably after 15 minutes in the second half. Was that something that was predetermined?
Yeah, that was a plan, Job. That's probably the longest football he's played in probably 3 months. So just to get a bit of fuel in the tank, and then hopefully he can last a bit longer next week, and then hopefully into the next week after that. So.
And you like the Harry Snitties?
Mate, I do. Extra chili's good. So thanks, Harry.
Yeah, no worries. Well, you go and enjoy one midweek. I'm sure Jimmy won't mind.
All right. I'd just like to say thanks to Harry Schnitzels and Bar TV for supporting the game. Thanks.
All right, cheers. Thanks very much. And we'll wrap that up there, Smudge. Thanks, Swanee. Appreciate that. Thank you. So we're going to wrap it up here. Smudge, just your final word on the game for this week.
Yeah, I thought last night's game, Edgeworth versus Magic, I thought Edgeworth shaded Magic and deserved the 1-0 lead going into the second leg. And today I thought Lambton shaded Olympic as well. So having a 2-1 lead going into next week should be very interesting. However, Olympic do have an away goal.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll finish it off there. But we enjoyed the game this afternoon, and we'll see you next week on Bar TV.